Hello, welcome to the new year. Congratulations, you made it through 2020. And welcome to 2021 and back to your favourite podcast, Band on Band. For all the new people out there, Band on Band is a BSM podcast where we get BSM bands past and present to talk about their favourite BSM bands, past or present. We'll go through a couple of set questions. On the first episode of 2021, we have Miles of Me Rex, and we have a wonderful conversation about that band from Durham, Martha. Great band, great chat. Enjoy. Hello, Miles. Welcome to the first Band on Band of 2021. How are you?
I'm okay. I am just kind of waiting to find out whether I have a job, maybe. I got this job just kind of towards the end of last year, and it's sort of hospitality based in a sense. So, I don't know whether it's going to open, but I'll find out in the next few days. So that's fun.
You are safe and you are sound and you are keeping on.
I'm keeping on and keeping on at that. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, welcome to Band on Band, where we have people talk about their favourite BSM bands, and you have picked Durham's finest, Martha.
Yeah.
What a great band. Talk me through like the first time you discovered them, how that was, how you felt, all the emotions.
Yeah. So the first time I ever heard Martha, I was going to see an all ages show of a band called Harry and the Potters at the New Cross Inn in August 2013. And they were on tour with Martha for the UK part of that run. They're like a US Harry Potter themed DIY band, and yeah, I'd never heard Martha before that. It was an incredible day actually, because I heard Martha for the first time, and I was like, this is amazing. I remember hearing Sycamore, and like that like stuck with me. And the Harry and the Potters were incredible, like just an amazing live show. And then I ate a giant pizza with my brother, and then I went to the Bird's Nest in Deptford, which is kind of just around the corner from there. And I saw the Petrol Girls, which was really cool. But I was so full that I had to go and like find a corner and lie down. But yeah, it was a great day. It was really hot, and I'd eaten too much, and yeah, I saw lots of bands.
There's a band called the Harry and the Potters. I'm just stuck on that for some reason, even though Martha probably is what we should be talking about. But I
think it's fair to digress. They are an interesting, kind of little niche. So they're this They were the first wizard rock band, and they. So I think it came out of a band called Ed and the Refrigerators, and they decided to start dressing up as Harry Potter and doing Harry Potter themed songs. And so I would have first heard that in like I guess early 2000s when I was a young teenager, and it was it was just kind of like this weird internet thing that me and some of my friends were really into. And I wasn't even that into Harry Potter as a kid. Like I read the first few books and then kind of lost interest in it. But there was something about this band that was just I don't know. It just totally worked for me. And then so I didn't hear anything from them for years. And then I think my brother said, they're coming to the UK, so we kind of got tickets on a whim. And yeah, it was a really incredible show.
Well, I mean, it opened you up to Martha, so that's it. Must have been a good show. I think like the first time I ever discovered them was probably through our friends at Special Subjects. I feel like there was a point in time where there was never a day where they wouldn't be talking to each other on the internet. And I always seem to, if Andrew or Kay talk about a band, I'm usually going to go check it out. And
for sure,
absolutely not disappointed in discovering Martha. And also Dave from BSM loves that band. And again, if Dave starts talking passionately about a band, you're more than likely going to go check it out, because the man can find and identify a big tune and a big hit the big hook.
Yeah.
Yeah, Martha, what a great band. What was the...
They're a band that deal almost exclusively. I mean, I would say actually they deal exclusively in huge bangers.
Yeah, only hits, forever
Yeah.
hits. I remember when I think we'd already started working with them, and it must have been maybe like 6 months before I actually saw them live for the first time, which was at Manchester Punk Fest in 2019 when they played Gorilla. And
oh, yeah.
I already knew it was going to be a good time, but I didn't expect it to be that much of a good time. You know, like just I don't know how many people can fit in that venue. Well, no one now.
I was at that show, and there were too many people in there because I was stood like relatively near the front, and you know when people kind of like weave in through the crowd like sideways. Someone. Yeah, just and then so someone was doing that, so I stepped back to let them go, and it was two people. And then they just stopped, like right in front. So the whole time I was right up against this person's neck, like my nose touching that kind of knobble where the neck meets the spine.
Otherwise known as the good old days.
Yeah. Back when that sort of thing was, yeah. No, I'd trade it all in to do that just one more time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that gig was just phenomenal. Like, I think everyone in that room was grinning from ear to ear. What was, like, from your point of view as someone who's seen them for quite a while, like, do you feel like there was any ramp up from seeing them the first time you saw them to Gorilla? Because obviously that's like a step up of what, like 500 cap venue? I don't even know how many people can fit in Gorilla. Must be around that sort of number. But do you feel like they had evolved or were always sort of born to play those big stages?
I mean, like, yeah, from seeing them in the New Cross in that time, like their energy was there, all of it. At that time, I noticed they didn't seem like a band that I expected to see in the middle of the day at the New Cross Inn.
Right. Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, put it like that.
They were already playing. They should have been headlining from the get go.
Yeah.
Or playing higher up.
Yeah, I mean, no, you know, I don't want to say.
You don't want to
anything about Harry and the Potters, but you know, it's in a non-hierarchical sense, they could be headlining
if they could play
those shows at that time for sure.
Yeah, if they could play exactly the same time and it wouldn't interfere, that would be the ideal world for you.
I guess so. I mean, I'm not. Yeah, I don't really like staying up late. So the earlier band that I like is on a bill. That's kind of better for me.
Yes. Now, you didn't think you were getting away without an advert, did you? I mean, it makes sense to plug the latest Me Rex record, Triceratops/Stegosaurus, the LP that we released last year in November. Still available on the BSM web store. That's bsmrocks.com. Just search it on the old web store and you'll find it. It's a great little record. It's got a whole heap of other people on the record. We've got members of Happy Accidents and Fresh on the record, and it's wonderful if you're into sort of indie rock, a little bit of singer-songwriter stuff, maybe a bit of Americana in there. I don't know. I don't write for anyone, so you're just gonna. I'm just saying it's good. We've got an exclusive clear and black marble vinyl. It's come out a little bit smoky from the pressing, and yeah, it's really good. So give it a listen. You know, it's on all the usual places: Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and yeah, you know, just buy one. Simple. Buy one, enjoy it, spin it, have a great time. All right, let's get back to the chat there. We're getting bogged down in the timings of all-day festivals, which one day hopefully we will be able to do again.
One day.
As a super mega fan, what would you say is your favourite Martha album? And I spoke to Kate from the Winter Passing last year. She picked Martha as well, and I emailed, like I did with you, I emailed the questions to her, and she said, "Are you really going to ask me what my favourite album was?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Well, I'm going to have to think." And there was about a week. And even when we were recording, she was like,
I think I just like all the albums, and I was like, go for it. Talk to them about all of them.
God damn it! I wish I'd listened to that, because Kate had it right there. I considered talking about the winter passing, but yeah, I mean, so when you sent through the questions, I was like, love keeps kicking is the one I said, but then like I kind of, you know, leading up to this, I listened back through to the rest, and I was like, oh, it's, you know, like any of them could be like Courting Strong definitely has, like I have like very specific memories related to that around kind of the first tour I did with it was Kelly Kemp, Perky, Mickey Day, and Chrissy Barnacle, and I think that was what, like the year after that came out. So it was kind of the soundtrack in a way to that, and then like starting playing with Fresh, Blisters in the Pit of My Heart was like, I mean, that's like a big Van album for us. But then also with Love Keeps Kicking, I think Catherine managed to get her paws on like a version of it before it came out. So we listened to that a lot too. So I don't know, there's they're all super strong albums. They all have these just massive bangers on them. And at the same time, I have like very specific memories associated with each one.
It's sort of, I was listening to Blisters earlier, and like songs like Ice Cream and Sunscreen. Yeah, Ice Cream and Sunscreen.
That's a contender for my favorite song of theirs.
Yeah. So we're doing we do this other podcast called Brackets, which is already plugging something I haven't done yet, but future me will hopefully have figured this out, where we pit all the songs together, and Martha is going to be the first one we do in 2021. So I've been listening to everything. Yeah. And I really don't like having like the top song on your spot on like what's on Spotify be like the ultimate winner, but Ice Cream Sunscreen is almost too good. It could be like if it was on.
I mean, listen, a top song is going to be the top song for a reason. The algorithm doesn't lie.
The algorithms don't lie. But I almost feel like if that was, this is what I do. I started thinking to myself, if that was on Love Keeps Kicking, then that album might be one of the best albums ever written. But thankfully, Martha saved some bangers for another album.
Phew.
Yeah, Love Keeps Kicking for me is probably the one that I enjoy the most. Probably similar to you, like Sentimental Reasons, getting into it at a different time. Yeah, I find myself just listening and not being able to like skip a track, which is always a good sign in everyone's eyes and ears.
Well, when I was listening through, I realized that I don't know the names of the specific songs, and that's the case for me with kind of all of my favorite albums, because I will just listen through to the whole thing.
Yeah, very good stuff. Finally, a good question that I like asking people, as someone who is completely unmusical, can play a bit of the drums, but that's about it. As an artist yourself, songwriter, what is it that inspires you about Martha? What do you draw from them as contemporaries?
This is a really good question. I would say the main thing would be the kind of the breadth of the writing. Like you have some very sincere, emotional stuff, and that kind of blends seamlessly into, like kind of playful, lighthearted. So I think the best example of this I wrote down is the line, "Everything is infinite, but nothing is eternal. Naive romantic shite, I thought, until I wrote it in my journal." And it just kind of, it just bridges that gap in such a beautiful way. And it kind of enhances both of those aspects of it. Like, I think it's easy to write in a voice that is entirely cynical or entirely, joking. And it's there's an ease to writing in a voice that is entirely, say sad or angry, or and there's value to that, but to be able to include everything, it feels very real, because that's kind of how, well, for me, that's how I experience life.
Yeah, definitely. I liked that you sort of picked that their lyrics are kind of sincere, but also serious at the same time. Like there's that lyric, the autumn forecast looking dismal again, but it's like over like a nice sort of like major chords, and it's like, no, don't worry about it. It's everything's shit, but it's fine because you got music.
I'll spend November in the house.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Also March and February and April and all the others.
Every month in the house. I'm a big fan of how like I think from a very like UK perspective, they're very like relatable. Like a lot of people can like relate to a lot of things that they sing about. But even though there's like a divide between the North and South, like they're still managing to draw both sets of people together in their lyrics.
Yeah.
We
get Iron Brew down here.
Yeah.
Find it in Brighton if you look. Yeah.
If you look hard enough, it'll be in some corner shop. I'd love to know anyone who's outside of like the UK what their perspective is on Martha. Have they toured outside of? I feel like they must have gone to Fest.
Yeah. They've done the US.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, they're a really good band. I hope that they keep creating. I'm sure they will create more, and I'm sure we will both be there enjoying it. With that in mind, a surprise question.
Oh,
if you had to pick a song for your ringtone from Martha, what would it be?
Oh,
and it can be like, it can be in the old like 2000s like chip tune, or it can be in its actual full glory if you want on an iPhone.
There's something about 1967 I Miss You, I'm Lonely that I think like I can hear that through the tinny speakers of a phone, just kind of like with the little buzz in the background. I think that would work.
I mean, I didn't expect you to answer it that quickly, but that is you've stumped me. What great choice for all sorts of ringtones. Miles, thanks very much for being with us today, and that'll about do it.
Wicked. Cheers, Connor.
So there you have it. That's the first episode of 2021 in the bag. Thank you very much to Miles for taking the time to jump on a Zoom call with me and have a chat about Martha. Always a good time when we are talking about Martha. So yes, that just leaves me to say thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for coming back to the podcast. This podcast was hosted by me, Connor P. Laws, and edited by the mysterious Riff Machine Listing, otherwise known as my good friend Oscar. Stay safe, keep washing your hands, please wear a mask outside, and let's hope that we'll be back doing what we're doing sometime soon. Man, I'd love to be at a festival this summer. So anyway, more of this to come. Enjoy, have a good day. Catch you soon.